Meet Camino, Tournesol's first modular bench system. Benches have an important role in people's journeys, creating a place to rest, meeting friends and family, and taking in the beauty of landscapes. Camino freestanding benches join together to create unique spatial configurations in open spaces. It's a modular system that enables architectural scalability with optional integrated LED lighting for nighttime activities. Made in the United States with domestically sourced premium thermally modified wood and powder-coated steel construction. It's also compatible with Wilshire, Kitsap, and Boulevard planters. Camino benches join together and create 90-degree and 120-degree corners, allowing for unique spatial layouts. Additionally, backrests and armrests can be added for additional features. Enhance with integrated lighting, shown here in a large plaza space, adding a unique aesthetic with a design light element. Also, they compare with Wilshire planters, Boulevard planters, and others. Camino was launched at the ASLA convention in Washington, D.C. in 2024. Here we see built versions showcasing integrated lighting, armrest and backrest configurations, as well as end panels with powder-coated steel and surface mount tabs. The adjoinment feature when pieces are used together to create a larger design layout of seating options, and an inhibitor on a straight open bench. Let's talk about some thought starters and preview design ideas. So in a straight configuration, straight benches with no angles can be aligned and attached to each other, as well creating differences in viewpoints determining a seating space. Here we see a 90-degree corner, also aligned with straight sections, and a space between areas helping to control pathway direction. Other design ideas, integrating planters in between seating spaces, also using backrests to inform direction of view for different landscape viewing areas. Aligning multiple planters together, again, to control direction of pathways, as well viewpoints, and creating a large architectural element within the space. Additional design ideas, again, integrating with planter layouts. Also aligning specifically with planters in between or surrounding Here we see a bench layout around a container. Tournesol provides multiple marketing and specification information on tournesol.com, design ideas, a specific design guide showcasing vocabulary, design ideas, layouts, and specification elements. As well, pricing can be found on tournesol.com. Let's get down to the basics. So there are 3 different bench types. All benches are 92 inches long by 21 inches wide and 18 inches high. The 3 bench types are straight, 45-degree angle, and 60-degree angle. For 45 and 60-degree angles, they come in both sided, where both ends of the bench contain the angle, or a left or right angle. When looking at and understanding the terminology associated with the layouts, we have a long edge, a short edge, and a straight end. We have a left angle, a right angle, or a both angle. 90-degree configurations are made by connecting two or more 45-degree benches, seen here in multiple layouts. 120-degree configurations are made by connecting two or more 60-degree benches. Again, some interesting layouts. Backrests, armrests, and inhibitors are all available on all benches. There are various back options specific to each bench. Straight inhibitors allow spacing to contain the bench to a seating use. LED lighting, a fantastic feature to add for a unique design aesthetic, is available and will be provided by Tournesol if selected. Has easy setup, 2700 Kelvin, UL and wet rated, dark sky certified and approved, and more design ideas within the Tournesol design guide. Each connection starts with a starter kit and a driver and can connect up to 4 benches off of that one driver system. Large-scale plans. As we see here, the Camino bench is designed to allow more flexibility in large-scale spaces. Oftentimes we think of benches in smaller spaces, more private areas, but consider the use of Camino to create pathways, to integrate planting areas, and to really help define a space. Straight benches can form long lines. 90-degree configurations can contain spaces, direct pathways, and really help define a large area. One hundred to 20-degree configurations can also do the same, integrating planters, directing pathway, and really helping to define in a unique angular spacing large areas. Combining both angles can also add to interest of the area. Joining Camino benches. Straight finished ends have no holes, and joiner ends will have holes and cutouts for connecting benches together, as well as for passing lighting cables from bench to bench and to the power supply when designed with the lighting feature. Joining benches will include joining hardware, and finished ends will be solid with no holes. Straight ends can be finished or joinal. Angled ends are always joiner ends. Some things to think about in design layouts and how connections don't exactly work. So straight ends to 60 or 45, 60 or 45-degree angles together, straight end to create a 90-degree configuration, and other angle layouts against a straight configuration. The reason this is not recommended is because of the adjoinment feature allowing stability and security for the benches, which can't be configured correctly in these layouts. Please talk with your project advisor should you have unique configurations you'd like us to consider. Finished ends are only available as straight ends in our standard product. An angled finished end may be possible, but is considered custom. Backrest, armrest, and inhibitors. Placing backs on the long edge versus the short edge. Backs for 45 and 60-degree left and right benches can be mounted on the long edge or the short edge. Backs are centered on the short edge. When mounted on the long edge, the placement of the back stays with the 90-degree edge. When backs are mounted on the short edge, the backs come close together. When backs are mounted on the long edge, there is a gap between them. As standard product for the 45-degree both and 60-degree both benches, backs are only available on the short edge. As we can see here, it would be to contain an interior configuration. Backs are available on all benches. Straight benches have 3 back options: without arms, 2 arms, or 3 arms. 45 and 60-degree left and right benches have 2 back options: without arms or 2 arms. 60-degree both benches have 2 back options: without or 2 arms. And 45-degree both benches have 2 back options: without arms or 1 arm. Arms are placed in fixed locations equally spaced on the short side. Backs can be mounted on either side of the bench, except for the 45-degree and 60-degree both benches, which we just reviewed in the previous slide. The length of each back is based on the short side and biased to the straight end. Inhibitors are used to deter sleeping and skateboarding. While they do not deter everyone, they help reduce misuse as much as possible. Unless requested, we prefer not to use inhibitors due to the open and inviting design. Inhibitors are placed in fixed locations equally spaced on the short side of each bench. Inhibitors can only be used on benches without backs, because for benches with backs, adding arms can achieve the same results. Should you have additional configuration requirements or requests, please reach out to your project advisor to discuss options. Building more configurations. Again, looking at different ideas of how to work with corner applications of 45 and 60 degrees, as well as straight edges. Let's look through a few slides of different design ideas and layouts. 45-degree angles with backs and integrated with planters. 60-degree angle along with straight benches and backrests. 60-degree angles with backrests. More 60-degree along with straight edges.